All right, today we're going to be talking about something very special today, and that is Oblivion. And Oblivion is a warning. This is the name of this video that we're going to be watching by Legendary Drops. I wanted to do this. I wanted to see what the Steam charts were. This is a big shock. I haven't looked this up yet. Let's see. We want the remaster. The remastered. What are we looking at? Oh, damn. I think it's safe to say that this game is a massive success. Good. Yeah, I know. Not only is this a massive warning to gaming, it's the whole gaming industry. Look at this, 190,000 all-time peak. I was thinking about getting the remaster. I'm too busy playing Schedule 1. This is probably something that I'm gonna get at like a later date because this actually looks really fun. Look at this, insane. On like the low end, 72,000. This is insane. Massive success. Anyway, we're gonna be watching Legendary Drops. He's gonna be talking about it. So let's begin. It's just funny too because Oblivion, the remaster literally came out of nowhere. Just a big old shadow drop. It was amazing.
I didn't think it was real. I didn't think that there was any shot that
No one
Xbox
did.
would want to shadow drop an Oblivion remaster to this level of quality. It just didn't make any sense to me. And on top of that, we've seen this kind of thing happen. I don't even know how many times. The screenshots,
They
the
needed
leaks,
a
the
win.
rumors, the comparison videos, and all of it led to absolutely nothing. And even more so, just the idea of it being a shadow drop doesn't make any sense because Xbox's track record is not that good. The vast majority of their games have not done
It's
well.
been rough.
Avowed was a thing. Starfield is not going to be remembered very fondly. So you would expect that they'd want to give...
Guys, I remember I got Xbox Game Pass to play Starfield, and I put in maybe an hour, and I was like, yeah, it's Bethesda. It is what it is. I just don't care about it, and I quit. I never went back. I did completely forget about Starfield. He is not wrong.
this game the red carpet treatment, but they didn't. To their credit, they didn't need to. The Oblivion remake has taken over the entire internet at this point. I call it a remake because that's exactly what it looks like.
You know what's really cool about this too? I don't know if they've done it yet, but since we got an Oblivion remake or remaster, Morrowind remaster, that'd be pretty cool. That actually is amazing that this is a massive success because I'm hearing really good things about this, which ups the chances of not just Oblivion but Morrowind. So hey, you know,
to be honest with you,
let's do this.
I am haunted.
Although I'm not sure if there is a Morrowind remaster or not. I'm pretty sure there isn't.
People's character creations. Good Lord, people. I know that sometimes I can be overly critical of a lot of games and the industry as a whole, but I have no problem celebrating things that are worth celebrating, and there is a lot worth celebrating here. I don't think that we've seen an all-around home run from a AAA publisher like this in a long time. This has swung positive sentiment in their direction. It's created a lot of goodwill, and it has embarrassed their competition. They did it all for $50.
Yeah.
Didn't I say?
That's the best part too, is that like they really upped the graphics too. Like I think it looks really good. I was actually surprised that they're only charging $50. I'm like, for a game that looked like that, like remasters and stuff, usually they go full price. $70. I was expecting $70. When I clicked on it, I saw $50. I was like, you know, credit where credit's due.
Something about competitive pricing.
I should probably make that full screen.
Today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about my return to one of my favorite games of all time,
My bad.
Elder Scrolls Oblivion. We're going to talk about its internet takeover and why I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of this in the future.
Dude, this is boding so bad for the gaming industry right now because like there's like this sentiment of like, oh, gamers want new games. This is boding really well because it proves that gamers want games like this. Like this, you don't need everything in one game, all right? These modern games, man, they keep trying to do shit that doesn't work.
Sure. Xbox just haymakered Nintendo in broad daylight, and nobody's talking about it. You guys know, it's really nice when they start fighting for our money. This all started the way these things normally do. A few breadcrumbs on Reddit, Jeff Grubb dropping some hints, leakers whispering about an Oblivion
Bro, look at this. Oh, the UI, dude. It doesn't have to be like perfect or anything.
Do a few breadcrumbs on Reddit, Jeff Grubb dropping some hints, leakers whispering about an Oblivion remake. Most people didn't buy it. Myself.
Dude, this is just so clean. Sometimes these games try to overdo it with like the UI and character customization. Just give me this. It's just like a piece of paper with sliders on it. That's it.
Included.
That's all you gotta do,
Bethesda
man.
Doesn't do remakes. They repackage their games, remasters,
So
ports, re-releases, sure, but a full-blown remake.
Look at the monster. Hold on, I'm gonna put myself over here for a second. Look at the monster that he's
sounds
creating.
like a fantasy. But Then it happened.
This is
Bethesda
so what I do in games. I look max. My brothers, they don't. They fucking make the ugliest fucking thing that you could possibly make on God's green earth. It is fucking hilarious. Anyway, we shall continue.
confirmed it and set a date for a live stream the following day, and then right after that, they had announced that the game was available for download. The remaster was being handled by Virtuous. If you guys have heard the name, it's because
dude, look how good this looks for like a remaster.
They've been everywhere.
This
at
looks
this
really
point. These
good.
are the same folks that are working on the upcoming Metal Gear Solid remake. They've worked on the Assassin's Creed Ezio Collection, Batman Arkham Collection, the BioShock Collection, Dark Souls Remastered, Nier Automata End of Yorha Edition, and more. This is far from their first rodeo, and in fact, they might be the best possible team to be able to handle a game like Oblivion, because this isn't just another classic. This is Oblivion, a cultural cornerstone, an RPG that shaped an entire generation's taste. For many of us, this was the blueprint. This was the genre. And Bethesda, they needed this. They needed it badly. Starfield was supposed to be their second coming, a brand new IP, huge scale, that signature Bethesda magic, but in space. It launched big, but it fizzled fast. Word of mouth tanked, streamers dropped it in days, engagement plummeted.
I don't know if anybody will agree with me on this, but I think the biggest reason why Starfield fizzled out the way that it did was it just didn't have like that oomph factor that like Oblivion has, where you feel like you're on an adventure. Like when you're playing Skyrim or Oblivion or any of them, you feel like you're on an adventure. On Starfield, you don't really feel like that. You just kind of feel bored. It's kind of boring. Like I revisited Skyrim recently, and there's just so many things can happen. Like you just turn like a corner, and then somebody could be getting attacked by like a bear or something, or there's always something, and you're like, what is gonna happen on my adventure today? I didn't get that feeling in Starfield. Honestly, I just was bored. Like I said, I only played an hour, so maybe I am wrong, but these other games have captured my attention like immediately, and I think that's what, I'm moving myself a little bigger, I think that's where Starfield kind of broke me, at least. But it is what it is.
After that,
that's my opinion. I don't know, what do you guys think down in the comments? Let me know what you guys think of these games. I'm also not really, I'm more of I like the whole like magic, and I kind of like the fantasy style a bit more, so there's also that too.
Full on damage control. Narrative lead Emil Pagliarulo was firing off tweets mocking players for not understanding the realities of game development. Devs then took to Steam with copy-pasted replies to combat negative reviews, saying things like, some of Starfield's planets are meant to be empty by design, but that's not boring.
Exactly, dude. Hold on.
When the astronauts went to the moon, there was nothing there. Certainly they...
Bruh, that's a bro moment right there. Bruh.
They weren't bored. Guys, what the hell were you even doing? This was a complete mess.
They weren't bored. True. Also, here's the thing. This takes place in the future. This isn't like your first discovering planets. Like, dude, I don't, dude, these people. No, some planets are supposed to be empty. You know what I'd prefer if I were to play a space game like that? Less planets, more content. Please. I don't even care. Just give me like 5 planets to explore, like in space. You don't need like 100, all right? You don't need everything. Just make the map smaller, add more content. That's all you gotta do.
Starfield didn't flop because it was broken. It flopped because it was dull. It didn't live. It didn't breathe. It didn't matter more than anything else.
And the way that I put it is like, you don't feel like you're on any kind of adventure.
That opened the door to the question whether or not Bethesda still has what it takes to even make games that people love. And I think that's what makes this remaster such a moment. It's not just a nostalgia bomb, it's a reputation reset.
Dude, look how good this looks,
remind
bro.
People what made them believe in them in the first place. Even if they didn't make this game themselves, they
you gotta I think there was like a glitch in the game where you get like behind like a rat or something and max out your sneak. I hope all like the beautiful glitches and stuff like that are still in the game.
Greenlit it. They
this game, bro, the memories.
They let it exist without mangling it, and it worked. I want to be clear about something. This isn't the kind of game that we need to see reach 500,000 concurrent players on Steam. It is not.
We're getting there. We're at 200. We're close. Hold on. 178 right now, currently. Sorry, 140 playing right now. Almost 200 in a 24-hour peak. Like, that's insane.
Here to compete with today's modern releases. It is here to regain goodwill and rebuild.
It's not even competing. It's sold past it. Like, do I have to bring up freaking Assassin's Creed Shadows?
Build Bethesda's brand. I find it hilarious when I go and
like
I read
ridiculous.
The ever-wise ex-Blizzard president turned sports betting CEO that's now marketing gambling to kids through Twitch, Mike Ybarra, said that I'm skeptical about 20-year-old remasters.
Oh my god, these people just don't understand, bro. Seriously. You know what's funny? I'm a massive Zelda fan. I play the new Zeldas. You know what else I play? I still play the old ones too, because they're still fucking amazing. I am one of those fucking retarded Nintendo fans that are like, please remaster old Zelda games. Like, please bring them to whatever the newest console is. Like, all of them. I'll play them all. Oh my. I am skeptical about 20-year-old remasters. What was once fantastic, now remastered, will never hold up against modern masterpieces like Elden Ring. The problem with this statement is that yes, you're right. Not every game can hold up to Elden Ring, but you know what I will say most old games can definitely do better than? Games like Assassin's Creed Shadows or Starfield. I'm sorry, but Elden Ring, let's be fucking real with ourselves, is a goddamn exception to the rule at this point. We have cooked ourselves in gaming to, like, oh my god, I can't with these people. I can't.
What was once fantastic, now remastered, will never hold up to modern masterpieces like Elden Ring. The bar has simply moved from—
Did you notice they only mention Elden Ring 2? That's the best part. It's like, and what else? Oh, right, because they're all not that great. Let's be real.
from a safe open world RPG to what—
Right now I'm playing Schedule 1. Right now. I'm playing Schedule 1 and I'm playing Monster Hunter because nothing else is worth playing. Now the Oblivion hit. Hey, now there's finally a third game. Congrats.
Elden Ring brought us all. I would love to be proven wrong, but I'm not.
Well,
Only he was proven wrong within hours. The game exploded.
Well, we got some news for you, buddy.
Loaded on Steam with over 182,000 concurrent players. It probably sold millions of copies straight out of the gate. My feed is wall to wall.
Wait, you guys will let me know down in the comments, but is this remaster also on console? I'm assuming it's on Xbox for sure. Actually, is this on? I actually have a question. Is it on Game Pass? Sorry, I'm checking it right now. Give me a second. Oh, it is on Game Pass. Well, guess what? I'm getting Game Pass. How much is Game Pass right now? Like, for real? You're telling me right now I could play Oblivion for $12? Guess who's gonna get Game Pass? I do want it on Steam, because having it permanently is awesome. But getting a freaking Game Pass, they also have Expedition 33, isn't that? Anyway, sorry, moving on.
Oblivion lately. Screenshots, bugs, memes, goofy face.
I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play this game.
Faces, pure joy. I've never seen so many grown men misty-eyed over a game drop. Games like the Oblivion Remaster are not here to define the modern era. They are here to remind us and developers of the past and let us revisit it with a new coat of paint. They are made cheap, sub $100 million. They don't need to sell 10 million copies to be viable. Nobody needs Oblivion to stand toe-to-toe with Elden Ring. We need Elder Scrolls 6 to do that. Why do you think that they released the game for $50, Mikey? Now, I've been playing it myself, and oh, man. I'm just going to say it. This has to be one of the hardest start screens in gaming history.
Oh, I will say. Okay, I still like the Elden Ring one a bit more, like the where he's like kneeling down and stuff. It looks really cool. This goes really fucking hard, too. I'm not going to lie. Like that. Oh, man, dude. Now that I'm watching this video more and more, it makes me want to play it more and more.
Once that theme kicked in, I just sat there staring for like 15 minutes, total blackout. Is this actually happening? It's wild to think that it's been almost 20 years, 2 decades. I usually credit Grandia 2 on Dreamcast for being the game that made me fall in love with RPGs, but Oblivion is the one that coded it into my DNA. People will tell you how revolutionary it was, how open it felt, how immersive it was, but that undersells it. For a lot of us, this isn't just our favorite game. This is the game. This is the one that defined an era. I still, to this day, struggle to explain what it felt like to play the game. It was a real adventure, streamlined from Morrowind for sure. It was much more accessible, but that didn't really matter. Before Elden
Actually, something interesting about this game too, it's probably not even just like his generation too, because me personally, I'm Gen Z. Yeah, I know, I'm the problem. Anyway, I'm Gen Z. Like, I remember being in high school, and even in my friends were obsessed with Oblivion, and like they messed around with Morrowind a little bit, but our main go-to was always Oblivion, Skyrim, and Fallout 3. And then I later fell in love with Fallout New Vegas. Like, that was like a little bit bit later. Then my friends fell in love with New Vegas when I was like, hey, this is really good too. Like, I would say that it isn't just like a one generational thing. I would say like even me as a Gen Zer, like it just was that good, which is why I'm excited to see a remaster of this, honestly.
Ring was the game that was praised for just letting you go. Oblivion was already doing it. I put thousands of hours into the game without even trying. You guys have to understand, this is before YouTube guides, pre-Twitch. You didn't even know what was coming. You couldn't plan. That mystery, that sense of unpredictability, it was electric. I remember getting caught and tossed in jail, ended up invited into the Thieves Guild. Then I went and I botched a job where I killed a guy by accident. I got kicked out, and suddenly I'm now being recruited into the Dark Brotherhood. I would spend hours wandering the land, finding ruins, delving into dungeons, interacting with everything I could to build up my proficiencies.
Damn.
I forgot that the main quest even existed until I stumbled over a hill and saw an Oblivion gate in the distance. This was the first time I had ever played a game that was reacting to me, not leading me. You didn't play Oblivion, you lived it. And somehow, some way, we get to do that all over again. I don't think people recognize how special of an occasion this is. Virtuous delivered exactly what this game needed. It is still janky, it's still weird, it's still buggy, but it's sharper, cleaner, and more modern where it counts. They kept the creation engine as the system that is running the game's logic, but they layered Unreal Engine 5 over the top of it to graphically bring it into the modern era. They let it be what it was, but just with a bit more polish.
Okay, that explains it then. Because I've always said Bethesda really needs an update on their engine. Because the thing is clunky, let's be real. Okay, I can see it now. And also, on his previous statement, yet again, I'll reiterate myself, this game actually makes you feel like you're on an adventure because literally anything can happen. It's amazing.
I mean, they still even kept the goofy misreads from the voice actors in the original.
We heard that thieves broke into the Arcane University, the Imperial Legion compound, and the temple all on the same night. Wait a minute, let me do that one again.
Combat feels tighter, the UI is clean.
Dude, this is amazing, bro.
You can actually assign your stats manually instead of just getting locked into a starting class. Small, smart, meaningful changes. That is all this game needed. And man, booting this game up after so many years, it feels surreal. Sure, the colors could pop more, performance is a little bit iffy. It's Unreal Engine 5, so it's kind of a mess on PC and console. That's becoming a bit of a trend lately, not a good one. Definitely makes me worried about the future of games with more studios wanting to adopt Unreal Engine 5, but in motion, it's beautiful. The Imperial City
and all
glowing
fixable
on the
things.
horizon.
All fixable things like performance. Like if they roll out some updates, work on optimization, work on performance, where like you get it to where most people can run it at like a stable 60. It is a remaster. I will accept 60 frames. Okay, it doesn't need to be freaking. Oh, this thing has to have 120 minimum, or it's over. It's the worst game ever. I would say at least 60. Get us a stable 60, and I'll be happy. That's all you gotta do.
Stars above the forest. The scope of the game feels real. The models, yeah, to be honest with you, a lot of them actually fall into the uncanny territory. It's definitely not how I imagined some of these characters would look using modern textures, but Bethesda has skipped an entire generation of hardware. It has been 20 years since Oblivion released.
My God, dude, look at this character, bro.
Over a decade now since Skyrim released. So anything
amazing.
at this point is going to look otherworldly. This isn't just a remaster, it's a recalibration. This is not a victory lap, but a course correction. It doesn't prove that Bethesda still has it, but it shows that they remember at least what it looked like, and maybe that's enough for now. Because Elder Scrolls 6 is still on the horizon, and this could be exactly what they needed to be able to reset the table. They didn't need to reinvent Oblivion. That wasn't necessary here. They just needed to remind everyone why we loved it, and they did. I feel like this should be the point of making remasters or remakes. It's an opportunity to go back and touch the very games that made these companies who they are, remind them of what players want, and then build upon that. After closing my first Oblivion gate and watching the flames spew out all around me, my game crashed immediately afterwards.
Oh, man.
It's such an authentic experience. They really captured what it was like to play it back in the day. I mean, they layered Unreal Engine 5 over the creation engine. What did we think was going to be the result of that? But yeah, it's buggy. There's tons of issues and things like that. It's just so damn fun to play. It's so fun to explore. And it's one of those games where you don't realize how much you missed it until you go back to play it. And
oh yes,
I've just
very
been enjoying
true.
myself.
Very true.
With that said, I do think that this is a reminder that There's a difference between bugs and performance issues. And
Here's the thing too. I bet you developers, not really necessarily developers, because I know developers want to make fun games, and then you have issues with like higher ups that are, that I would say affect gaming too. But I bet you a lot of our companies right now are sweating looking at this going, oh shit, like, ooh, what are we gonna do? Because like people aren't buying the newer stuff. Say that much. Shit, even I'm sitting here like, I want to buy Oblivion, It just looks so fun. It looks so fun. And it looks like relive some of them old memories, Back when I was in high school with my friends and we hopped in. Oh, dude, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. Wait for the mods, too. The modding community is going to go insane with this one as well.
And it's like I said earlier this week, players are going to put up with a lot if the game is fun or enjoyable. Games will be judged by their merits if they
to an extent. Like you can only have so many bugs. Like I remember Cyberpunk is a really good one, a good game, really fun to play. That one was riddled with so many bugs and so many issues that it kind of got to the point where they almost killed their game, but then they stuck to it, they fixed it. Like I'm enjoying it right now. It's great. It's awesome. Anyway,
they have them. If there is no merit, well then all they're going to see is the negative.
Yeah,
you're not having that with
you're getting that authentic Bethesda experience with all them bugs.
I know this is a Bethesda-led project, and Virtuous is the one that actually developed it, and those guys have been cooking, by the way. Holy shit. But Bethesda needed something after Starfield. That game, I don't think people realize how much damage that did to their reputation. You have to keep in mind that before Starfield, it's been over a decade since Bethesda released a new game, which means that in that time, an entire console generation, the gaming market has tripled. There's triple the players, triple the money. And with that, Starfield ended up being people's first taste of Bethesda. And it tasted like shit. You have to do something about that. You can't let that sit out there like that.
Yeah.
Putting out an Oblivion remaster at this level.
As somebody that didn't really play too much of Starfield, my opinion was always it was just boring. I don't know. I don't know if it was like that great of a game either. Like I can't judge it too much. I just think it was boring and that's why I left it. But I have seen gameplay on it of it. That's what I'm also judging it on. I watch other people's experiences too, because I always do my own experience and then I also intake other people's experiences, and I'm just saying like, what's going on here? Like, why am I seeing something that nobody else is seeing? And I think that's so far everybody has the same opinion, is that it was boring. They're cooking with this remaster quality, right here.
That's gonna give you a much better reputation, especially for the price that they put it at.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: this isn't just a Bethesda decision. This was an Xbox decision. They were the ones that said, "Hey, we need to go make an Oblivion remaster." I talked to a couple people, and they said it wasn't even Bethesda that actually pulled the trigger on it. It was Xbox.
Really?
And it was a smart
Xbox. You're cooking. Come back, please. Come back. Come back. Give us more. Give us more of this.
Smart choice by them. But they've had a rough go of it for the last decade or more now. The Xbox One series didn't do very well with them.
Yeah.
The now Xbox Series is not doing very well.
Start cooking again, Xbox. You got this.
Is lapping them like it's a damn tradition at this point. And a funny thing happens when these companies get backed into a corner. They start looking for other options. They start trying to fight back, and they start swinging like they should have swung a long time ago. And in the case of Xbox, it's pricing a game fairly. Nintendo just announced a $90 Breath of the Wild plus DLC remaster. And then here comes Xbox.
Really? Oh, God damn. I own Breath. Okay, well, if I wanted to play Breath of the Wild on Switch too, because I own both. I have the DLC and Breath of the Wild. I think it's like, what, $10 to upgrade it? Yeah, I'm good. I'm just going to stick with it on my normal Switch. I don't really care to keep putting more money into one singular game. I always hated that too. I don't want to put like a bunch of money into one game. I'm sorry, but like I have like ADD and I like to experience other games too. So sorry, I'm not going to buy your game, buy a DLC, and then if you want me to play on the new console, the upgraded version, here's another $10. I'm good. I'm just, no thank you.
With one of the most renowned and one of the most well-known games in Bethesda's entire game catalog, and they put it out for $50.
Yeah.
That's not a coincidence. This isn't some bargain bin bundle half-hearted.
Not just that, I just barely looked it up. It is on Xbox Game Pass right now. So if you're like me and you're like, yeah, I'm still a little bit on a budget, like getting it, like I'm literally looking at recently added Expedition 33, then Oblivion. They got some other games on here too. They got Grand Theft Auto 5. They got, what is this? Hold on. They got Hunt Showdown. Nice. The new Diablo 3? What? Bruh. I always forget. They also have South of Midnight, Atomfall, Borderlands 3. They're cooking right now. They're cooking. I don't know what that is. I don't know what Naraka is. There's a lot of interesting stuff. They even got SpongeBob SquarePants, the Patrick Star game. Please, Xbox, cook again. Please start cooking. Be competition to these other companies. Please. We need you.
Reskin. This is a
Do more of this. Do more of this. Do Morrowind next.
nearly full remake of one of the most influential RPGs of all time. Not just with visual upgrades, but rebuilt on Unreal Engine 5, packed with DLC, improved systems, better combat, and a UI overhaul. It is on the same level of fidelity and scope as the Demon's Souls remake from Bluepoint, and that game launched at $70 and still costs $70 today. And yet here we are with Bethesda and Xbox just dropping Oblivion for $50. Not $60, not $70, not $90, $50. That alone makes it one of the most important releases of this year, not because of what the game is, but because of what that price represents. In an industry that's currently feeding on its own customers, where publishers have spent the last 4 years normalizing $70 as the baseline and now pushing into the $80 to $90 range without even blinking, this isn't just a fair deal, it's a challenge, a correction, and I don't think...
Dude, and I bet you a lot of people feel the same way I do too when you're looking at $80 or $90. I know that like games have already been like way past that at this point when you put in microtransactions and like everything. It's like games have already costed more than $90 already. It just feels like it's just another nickel and dime on people that are already on a tighter budget because of everything. And so when you're like, oh, 80 or 90, people are like, oh, my hobby just got more expensive. And it's like, I'm going paycheck to paycheck. It kind of sucks, you know. I understand where people are feeling, but everybody's feeling it, you know. Kind of sucks.
I think it's a coincidence. I think it's a deliberate, calculated decision that's signaling two things loud and clear. Xbox knows that the industry is overreaching, and they plan to undercut it. At least that's what makes the most sense from my perspective, because Xbox isn't doing great. They haven't been doing great for a long time. Since the disastrous release of the Xbox One, the brand has struggled to find its identity. They lost ground to PlayStation during the last generation, and they never fully recovered. And now here we are in the Xbox Series era, and things haven't gotten any better. If anything, they've regressed even further. Xbox console sales have completely tanked, while PlayStation is outselling them at twice the rate. The Nintendo Switch is likely to be the most sold console in gaming history, breaking over 150 million units sold. If we look at the last 2 years of their game releases, Hi-Fi Rush is arguably the only respected release. Redfall blew a hole in the ground. Starfield was memed on for months. South of Midnight was an interesting game, but it's not really going to be pushing any units. And Avowed, I'm sure some people played it on Game Pass.
Oh my god. Yeah, when you're comparing Avowed to Oblivion, bro, this is not what people want. They want games like Oblivion, right? They want games like Skyrim, man. The thing is too with Xbox, the thing that I noticed too is that they also do PC as well. So I wonder if there's like, this is just me just speaking whatever. No, I'm not saying like this is true or anything, but I wonder if it's because like Xbox fans have gotten a lot older and they moved on to PC, or not older necessarily older. I wonder if Xbox fans just went to PC essentially, so they're not going to sell as many consoles because more of them are buying computers. I don't know, maybe. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. That's just a food for thought type of thing. Yeah, I don't know. Well, and I think a big part of that is because like with PlayStation, you don't really get PlayStation games on PC, so you kind of have to buy a PlayStation, or you get it like a year or two later. With Nintendo, you like never get those on PC, so you have to buy a Switch if you want to play Nintendo games. While with Xbox, why would I buy an Xbox when I can get it on PC later? So I wonder if there's like a little bit of that going on. I could be completely wrong, you know. That's just a food for thought thing.
It's ironic, really. Xbox has essentially returned to the exact position that it was in before the Xbox 360, the forgotten platform, technically competent, but no killer identity. Much of that I blame on the loss of Halo. Fumbling your mascot and what your console is known for is going to have some pretty harsh consequences. But as the hardware battle is drug on, they have been put in a corner. They have to start fighting back. I don't think this $50 price is a peace offering. It's a pivot, or at least it should be. This is the kind of move that you make when you realize that your platform has no dominance and your audience is not big enough for you to be able to justify absurd prices. So instead, what you do is you lean into something that you can control: value. While Sony and Nintendo are too busy extracting maximum value out of their same recycled franchises at inflated prices, Xbox just handed players one of the most iconic RPGs ever made at a price that actually respects their wallet. And I think the timing really
Sure.
matters here, because
W.
you cannot tell me that it's a coincidence that we just saw Nintendo announce Mario Kart World for $80 and a Zelda Breath of the Wild, a 10-year-old game.
The full Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild experience on Switch 2 will cost $90, including DLC, as Nintendo confirms the expansion pass isn't included in the re-release. Oh my god. Okay, so... Oof. Okay, that's insane.
DLC remaster bundle for $90.
So what they essentially did was just up the frame rate a little, and now they're upcharging a fuck ton. God damn.
Xbox undoubtedly is trying to make Nintendo look foolish, and they're trying to take advantage of the situation. This is exactly what we want to see. This is the energy that we need. This is exactly what I hope that we would start seeing. These companies need to be at each other's throats, because when they are, players win. Competition means better games, better prices, and less arrogance. It breeds quality. It forces fairness. The problem is, for years now, this industry hasn't had any real competition. Sony and Nintendo don't really compete with one another. They operate in entirely different lanes. Nintendo dominates the handheld section and family-oriented experiences, while Sony rules the high-end console space. And Xbox, well, they used to be the equalizer. They used to be that third pillar that kept the other two in check, but after a decade of missteps, they've lost their power, and with it, they lost relevance. Now, keep in mind, none of these platforms are trying to compete directly with PC. They don't think that players are just going to wall off and go and build a gaming PC. Steam, to them, is treated like it's an alternate revenue stream, not a rival. And so,
Okay,
with Xbox
interesting.
being largely
So he
absent
did
from
bring
the
it up.
fight, Nintendo and
Okay.
Sony have gotten incredibly comfortable, too comfortable. And that's why we're seeing higher prices, because
Okay, so yeah, he said it best. Okay.
without
That makes a
competition,
lot more sense.
they don't really have to care what the players think. But even unchecked,
Yeah.
there's a ceiling, because eventually that arrogance is going to collide with an even bigger issue, saturation. And I think that Xbox and the pricing that we just saw may be the first time in years that they just took a step towards addressing that. Because the truth is, nobody is safe from the looming threat that's been creeping beneath all of these price hikes, remasters, deluxe editions, and
Well,
seasonal roadmaps of live service games. The
Season-
games industry
yeah, every time you see a roadmap in a video game, you're like, okay, well, all right. How are they going to completely upcharge me on every single checkpoint on the way on that roadmap? Does this one have a roadmap? I don't think this has a roadmap at all. I think it's just a no. Dude, I think that's what people love about it the most, is that it is just a simple $50 game. That's it. You get the game too. $50 and you get the full game. Imagine that. Let's see. And the best part is that if you want the deluxe edition, it's $60. I'm looking it up right now. Let's see. Remastered deluxe. So you can get the normal one, get the deluxe upgrade for $10, $60 most. Dude, freaking Xbox is cooking right now. Like, god damn. Hopefully they make a comeback, because they really need to start keeping these other companies in check. Like Sony and Nintendo has been running wild with their dog shittery. In my opinion, they have been making some unconsumer friendly moves, I would say. Things that don't benefit us at all. So now that Xbox is doing this, hopefully they're sweating right now.
industry right now is making too much content, and it's making it too fast at too high of a price for an audience that is already overwhelmed. I'm seriously wondering if Xbox's pricing of the Oblivion Remaster may be a sign that some of these publishers are waking up to the idea that there is an oversupply crisis unfolding across this entire industry.
What I want this to do is also prove that these companies have also been charging way too fucking much for their game. Because it's like, okay, $90, sure, but what else is in there? What other costs are attached with that game too? You know, oh my. Well, they're releasing, like what he said, like usually these things come out like $70-$80. Like it's the same. They practically put it out there out on discount. And you know, this game too, when this game goes on like a discount, like Steam discount, essentially, it's gonna be very high value. Oh dude, time to play it. Time to play this game.
Too many games, too little demand. Mid-tier and even some AAA games are being churned out at record speeds, but the audience simply isn't there to sustain all of it. I mean, just in the last 6 months alone, we saw Monster Hunter Wilds, Path of Exile 2, Avowed, Marvel Rivals, Split Fiction, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Schedule 1, Expedition 33, and Oblivion Remastered. All of them dropping in an increasingly crowded marketplace, and that's only scratching the surface of some of the games that were released. I mean, the whole reason that I was confused and frustrated about Nintendo wanting to increase prices to $80, or analysts thinking that it's somehow healthy for Grand Theft Auto 6 to go up to $100, was there.
Here's the thing with the new GTA. My guess, we can bet on this. Me and viewers, all right? Me and you guys. I'm betting that GTA will be more than $100. That's my bet. I'm gonna bet 120. I would be surprised if it was $100 if it comes out. Like, I would actually be very surprised if it was 80 or 90 on release. But my bet is over 100, and I'm hoping I'm wrong. All right, hopefully. But I think $100 minimum. But I think it's gonna be more than 100. I think it's gonna be 120, and then with all like the shark cards or whatever the in-game purchase stuff is called. Ooh, it's gonna be a lot of money.
There is simply just too many games in
That
this
game,
industry.
that game is going to make a lot of money.
There's too many games that are out there. Players have too much choice. And when supply is that high and demand is so low, prices have to come down to meet demand, or you're just going to see more games fail and more studios close.
True.
And I think that's what Xbox might be betting on. Not nostalgia, not charity, market pressure. I want you guys to think about it like this. When a remaster hits the market with near remake level quality, full DLC, and a sub-premium price, it suddenly looks like it's the best value in the room because it is the best value in the room. This isn't goodwill. This is strategy, because unlike Sony and Nintendo, Xbox doesn't have anything left to protect. Their first-party titles haven't had any impact. Their platform isn't going to be winning the hardware race. Their legacy titles, Halo, Gears, Fable, they've either gone cold or gone missing. Game Pass, while smart in theory, hasn't really become the Netflix of gaming like they would have hoped, so the only way that these guys can compete is through value. This is why I think Xbox might actually be learning, not because they care more, not because they've suddenly wanted to become more consumer first, but because they're desperate. They've lost too much ground to be able to play by the old rules, so now they're going to start trying to test out some new ones. Out of the 3 major platform holders, they are the weakest, but they're also the most dangerous, especially given the fact that they have done away with console exclusivity. So if they start slashing prices, that's going to become a problem, because they're not just going to be doing it on their platform, they're going to be doing it on their competitors' platforms as well. I'm really hoping that this isn't just some one-off play, because this could be the start of a winning strategy. Think about the games that Xbox has in their pipeline. Doom Dark Ages, Gears of War E-Day, Fable. These aren't throwaway titles. These are
Ooh, imagine that. Imagine if they like remaster. Oh, you know what? Fable 2, please give us Fable 2. Fable 1 is already on Steam. Like, they already remade it, remastered it. But please give us Fable 2, please. I love that game. I would love to see a remaster of that one.
Profile IPs with built-in audiences.
BW.
If Xbox sticks to this model, competitive pricing, multi-platform releases, they could position themselves as the one major publisher that's actually in touch with reality. Now, to be clear, I don't think that's actually going to happen. I don't have a lot of faith in this industry or these publishers to think that these guys are going to have the foresight to realize that if you slash your prices in response to your competition increasing theirs, you're going to be able to reach higher revenues. You're going to be able to reach a much wider audience. But if anybody could do it, it would be Xbox. They're the ones that are the best positioned to be able to pull this off in the first place. Their games are largely subsidized through Game Pass to begin with. They already have done away with console exclusivity. So you're going to be cutting prices on their platform. Imagine how much that would suck to be them.
And like what I said, like I think Xboxes aren't selling as much is because people are buying PCs. I just think that's what it is. Why get an Xbox when the same game is on a much better platform to play games on?
Imagine the impact of a game like Doom Dark Ages dropping for $60 instead of $70. I know it's already at $70 right now, but this is a hypothetical more than anything else. I wish these companies would wake up to realize this. The problem is these guys, for the most part, have banded against us. They've been working together. They've been following one another rather than actually competing with one another. And because of that, things have been incredibly unfair for us.
Well, something that I also want to bring up too is that I think it's confirmed, but the new Night Rain is going to be $40, you know, and I think that's like that's going to be a bigger game as well, and they're not charging full price, full $70 or full $80 now. That's going to be only $40, I believe. So yeah, you can't tell me that these companies, they have to charge $90, you know, ridiculous.
You know, I saw somebody that was very upset with the fact that I was talking about The Elder Scrolls Oblivion and its remaster and how much I've been enjoying it, and I've been memeing on Twitter and stuff about it and whatnot. And they said
that's your issue. You're on Twitter. It's a bunch of retards.
That you cry for change, but you keep handing them money.
Yeah. Dude, these brain dead retards, bro.
We only get change if we vote with our wallets. And voting with your wallet doesn't mean not buying anything, because things really aren't going to change, and that's not even realistic to begin with. People are just going to buy something instead. But supporting a near remake like Oblivion for $50, is the exact kind of message that you want to send.
Yes.
You want to
That's the games you want to make successful, dude. These people are so fucking brain dead retarded. Oh my god. Because these companies, they only see money. They only see money. And if you buy the product that is good, they're gonna make more of that product.
reward good behavior.
Dude, these people on Twitter, bro. And Reddit. I'm lumping you into fuck you two Redditors. You know, go fuck yourself as well. But both you brain dead retards. Every chance I get, I always find an opportunity to make fun of Reddit. That platform. The people on those platforms, bro. Good God. What has happened?
Behavior. Don't buy the bad games. Buy the good games. You're not gonna
Bro, deep. Don't buy the bad games, buy the good ones. No, you can't do that. You have to buy the woke games. Duh. What was the... Oh, you need more Concords. We need more Concords. You know what? I think Concord was misunderstood. I know the game was ugly and it wasn't that fun. It was kind of a piece of shit, not worth money. But you know what? I think it was misunderstood. And I think we should bring it back, which is why we're getting Marathon. God, man, we're really cooking in the industry right now, aren't we?
We're not winning anything if you're not buying games that are actually good or worth supporting. You want to send a signal to these companies saying, hey, this is what I want and I want more of it. And then they'll make more of it. Essentially, that's how it's supposed to work. Whether it actually does, I guess we'll find out in the future. But yeah,
no,
I've been having a lot of fun playing Oblivion. It has been so great to return back.
Yep, time to get Game Pass.
Game. Oh, man.
Time to get it.
It's been so long since I've played in a Bethesda title to begin with. I think I only played like 15 hours of Starfield before I gave it up, but I've just...
You played 15 hours? Brother, I couldn't make one. That's impressive. 15 hours is still not good for a Bethesda game. Usually in like a Bethesda, like you're playing Fallout or Skyrim or any of them really, 50 hours minimum usually is how those games usually go.
I've been having a lot of fun. It's honestly one of my favorite games of all time. So it's kind of surreal that they even made a remaster like this in the first place. It's been blowing my mind. So I still need to play Expedition 33 and also the Marathon Alpha. Apparently Bungie wants to talk to me. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys have been enjoying Oblivion. I'm going to be playing a little bit more of it tonight. Hopefully I'll play some Expedition 33 as well. But
nice.
Yeah, outside of that, stay.
I wonder what Expedition 33 is. I'm going to check that out as well. Anyway, go check out Legendary Drops. Let's see. The unfortunate takeaway executives will get from this success is that people want remakes instead of the real takeaway. People just want good games, even if they are 20-year-old remakes. Listen, there's a couple of games I do want remakes of, like Morrowind and Fable 2, the most notable, in my opinion. The fact that those who began with Skyrim can now experience what made Oblivion unique makes me happy. Nice. People are loving it. People are loving this. Anyway, I'm going to end it here. Go check out Legendary Drops and peace out. Like, comment, subscribe. Goodbye. Peace.